Hello, on this next video I'm going to demonstrate how to set up an analog input on the SCADA P software. If we go to the mode button as we did before and go to build interface, on the last video we set up a digital input. What we'll do on the second line, we edit this and go to next line and we'll set up an analog input. There are several screens to populate if you want to use all the functions. The first one is just to give it the input a name, so we'll call it battery. Voltage. So we give the name battery voltage. We're not going to put it in a log. We can log alarms. We can also archive it, but we're not going to do either on this demonstration. So on the next one, we can give the analog input some units. So I'll put volts as units, and we can decide whether we're going to scale it by inserting a decimal place, or multiply or by a certain decimal place, or scale it. I'm going to scale it, the input, and give it 2 decimal places, and I'm going to have, we can have several different types of alarms that will trigger at different points. So we can either have no trip points, trip when the alarm, when the level goes above certain values, goes below. So if it's working from the top down, you can have alarms as the value drops, or if it's going up, you can have alarms as the value passes the trip points, or if it's working from the middle up and down, you can have alarms above and below the midpoint. But we're having a battery voltage. I'm going to have trip when the item drops below. The next one, we have to decide what we're going to scale it as. I'm using a 10-bit ADC on a remote device, so there's the raw range for the ADC, and we're going to have, we'll put as a 12-volt battery. Move that out of the way. 12. So the full scale to 0 will give us 0 to 12 volts. Next one, we have to set our thresholds up, so I'll have the high trigger point on my battery alarm trigger when it passes below 11.2 volts, and then again I'll have another one at 10 volts, and then another at 8, and then another at, although your battery would be very badly broken at this point, 6 volts. Right then, so I've got my trigger points for my alarms, I've got a dead band, and I've got an on and off delay. I'll reduce the delay down to 1 second. And again, this delay down to 1 second. Okay, right then. So we've set up the alarm thresholds. We can set up the alarm colours. I'll just leave them as that for now. No, actually I'll reverse them. Just change them. So there's a normal colour, which is when the battery is above all the threshold points, or if it's the alarm's the other way around, it's when it's below. And then there's the alarm colours for the different trigger points, and we can have different, I'll just put them all as alarm, an MP3 associated with each alarm, and we'll also have a normal alarm sound, and I'll leave these as they are. These are the text to speech statements for the alarms. Okay, there we go. So I've basically set it up. What I'll do, what I need to do is to key it to an input which is an actual analog input. So on my remote device, the second location was an analog input. So if I save it and then prepare the remote device, we run it. Almost there. Run interface.
Low alarm.
There we go.
Battery normal.
I wasn't quite quick enough. Right then, so I've turned the output on my remote device all the way up. If I drop it slowly, you'll see the level dropping, and as it passes through the thresholds plus the deadband, we will get the various alarms. The first one was 11.5, and I put half.
High alarm.
Let's drop in. Slow down.
High alarm. Low alarm.
Keep going.
Low alarm.
And then if we put it back, sweep the battery voltage back up,
Low alarm.
it'll clear
Battery normal.
There we go, back to normal. So it'll generate a series of alarms, and these can also be archived, but the archive's turned off at the minute. I'll demonstrate that later. And the alarms themselves can go to a digital archive. But that's it basically. Next video I will show you how to set up a digital output. Thank you very much.